More details on the events leading up to Marshawn Kneeland's death have surfaced. The Dallas Cowboys defensive end was found dead in an apparent suicide on Monday morning of November 6, just hours after he was involved in a car chase in Texas. Kneeland, who was 24, refused to stop for Texas Department of Public Safety troopers when they attempted to reach him over a traffic violation on the night of November 5th, the agency said in a news release obtained by NBC News. However, DPS troopers lost sight of the vehicle and the pursuit was terminated. The vehicle was later located abandoned and had been involved in a crash on the southbound lanes of Dallas Parkway near Warren Parkway. Public safety troopers and Frisco police officers discovered Kneeland's body in the early hours of November 6th after searching the immediate area of the car. In a separate news release, Frisco police said that they had learned Kneeland had expressed suicidal ideations during their search for the football player. An official cause of the manner of death is pending from the Collin County Medical Examiner's Office per authorities. At this time, no further details will be released as the investigation remains ongoing. Why do you think possibly I have sat here and read this in front of your faces? Maybe somebody is wondering what's going on and they're not kept up to speed and they woke up on this morning and found out that their up-and-coming favorite player is no longer on this earth and they're sad and they're wanting to know. You know what? That's a valid reason. But around these parts, there's another reason, and it's because stupid people are very bored and because they don't have the mindset to actually wait just a little bit to potentially figure out anything in regards to a breaking story. We live in a world where, is that really what happened here? Is that really how this went down? Is that really what happened?
Dallas Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland was found dead after a high-speed chase with state troopers from Texas. Now, according to the state troopers, that they were unable to catch him, but later found his car abandoned. So how did he actually die if his car was abandoned? According to authorities, it was a self-inflicted gunshot. Doesn't that seem odd? Now, during the Cowboys' last game, Marshawn made an amazing play. He was sitting on top of the world, even has a girlfriend. Why would he suddenly get into a high-speed chase with police, abandon his car, and then commit suicide? Something about this stinks to high heaven. I don't know much about his mental history or anything else, but I know when I hear some shit that sounds very odd. Supposedly, the troopers found his car crashed on the southbound Dallas Parkway. And after the crash, he somehow escaped on foot and then was found 3 hours later with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. That's the story they're telling everyone, guys. So, stay tuned. I'm sure there's going to be more details coming out about this one because it doesn't sound normal.
Well, Ken, a very somber day here at the Star. Just behind me on those big screens now sits a tribute for Marshawn Kneeland from the Dallas Cowboys. And just about 3 blocks away from where we're at is actually where his vehicle was found. And we did spot tire markings on the ground there. Now, I do want to start with a statement from Kneeland's family, which reads in part, "We are devastated by this tremendous loss and are still processing the depth of our grief. As Marshawn was making his mark on the football field with the Dallas Cowboys, he held an even more special place off the field as a devoted son, brother, uncle, cousin, nephew, grandson, and friend." Now, this morning, authorities confirmed the 24-year-old died by suicide. I do want to give you a timeline of how this all played out. The Texas Department of Safety says that on Wednesday at about 10:30 p.m., troopers encountered Kneeland and tried to stop him for a traffic violation. They say Kneeland didn't stop, and that's when a pursuit began. DPS says troopers lost sight of his vehicle and called off the chase. They later found his vehicle abandoned here in this area near Dallas Parkway and Warren Parkway after it had crashed on the southbound lanes. But authorities say Kneeland left the scene on foot. Authorities, including Frisco PD, began searching the area, and around 1:30 this morning, they found Kneeland dead. It's unclear where his body was found, but Frisco PD added that officers received information that Kneeland had expressed suicidal ideations. And dispatch calls we listened to did say that he was having some mental health issues. In those calls, they also say that he had sent a text to family members saying goodbye. So a very tragic day here today at the Star. In Frisco, Marissa Armas, CBS News. News, Texas.
We're talking to the girlfriend. She's trying to call his agent, but we're trying to get him to call her to call him first. But she's saying he is armed and has a history of mental illness, and her quote was, "He will end it all."
Good copy. You probably ran back to the car to get the gun. 10-4.
If she calls him, we'll let you know.
Good copy. Alright, y'all do me a favor. Everybody stay with a buddy. Don't go looking alone. This guy is armed.
President, they just received a text from him, a group text from him saying goodbye. They're concerned for his welfare. They do not have a key to the apartment.
David 7, I copy. I advise on this call. We were just out there. There's nobody at the apartment. I'll contact him by phone.
We have a lieutenant calling in from Plano advising that the NFL is calling Plano PD and the subject is texting his family goodbye.
GPS 111, there's a porta potty on the south side of that building.
40, we got eyes on it. That's pretty much right exactly where 118 drew the circle. Y'all see a heat from that?
Yeah, 111. We got good eyes on it. Looks like the door's open. Red liquid coming out from it. We just want to go ahead and work this safely before we have any officers approach. So let's just get an arrest team and kind of go through this safely and tactically. I believe we got eyes on a drone right there. Still got eyes on the target inside that porta potty.
We're pushing the drone there now.
Got a good copy. Just on our last orbit, we didn't see any movement. Still got that heat signature. Looks like it's curled up at the bottom of that porta potty. With the stream of blood coming from the porta potty.
Yeah, that's a 10-4. He's going to be laying on his side, facing inward, and quite a bit of blood coming out.
Because humanity, in regards to tragedy, is out the fucking window for some of these people. And you know what's so interesting? Almost 2 months ago, you motherfuckers swore to me that black people don't take their own life. You motherfuckers sat here and cheered on this really stupid concept that mental issues and mental health problems are nowhere near the black community in drastic measures, because apparently never in history has a black person taken their own life, specifically a black male. Oh, and by the way, still waiting on all this great proof about broken arms and broken bones and stolen organs in regards to Trey Reed, because I'm certain you investigative TikTokers are on the case. But when we're sitting here and we're speaking about this young man, and you hear people talking about, oh, he got money, oh, he was rich, oh, he made it, what's the problem? You are ignoring up here. I don't know if I've ever said it. I don't know if it's a generational hot take, but just because you got money don't mean mentally you're rich. Yes, you have a better opportunity in regards to paying for all of these services, but it all comes down to what's up here. And if you checked out about something up here, it will affect you, and maybe you'll realize it and you'll get better. Or unfortunately, in this example, you may no longer be on this earth, and that is not the option anyone should cheer for, champion, or in this fucking case, dismiss it, because talking about it makes you so fucking uncomfortable. Mental health is a joke, and it's a joke for many reasons, one of which is how people disregard it up until it's too late. Because how many fucking times have I seen somebody take their life and now everybody's running the spiel of, oh, well, check up on your friends, check up on your loved ones, then somebody else drops dead. Check up on your friends, check up on your loved ones, then somebody else drops dead. Check up on your friends, check up on your loved ones. It's getting to a point where, yes, still make sure that if you're going to talk about that, be about that, and making sure that you do check-ins with people who may be rosy-cheeked and smiling, but you know, when things get quiet, you're not hearing from them for a couple weeks, maybe even a few months. It would be a good idea to check in on them. But what I want to hammer home on all of your heads is, for one time, please, and I know I'm asking the internet, which is the dumbest thing I could do, but can you motherfuckers who are doing this get a fucking sense of humility in recognizing that you're trying your best to step over a potential actual story so that you could just be the one who said, well, is that really what happened? Because, oh, well, when we talk about these police and how could they lose somebody and maybe they were trying to get somebody for something. You're trying so hard for no fucking reason. And then when it's all said and done, what happens? And you end up being wrong. What happens? And you end up not being correct in your BS hot take where you're being someone who's disingenuous to a dead body, but still trying to play the game of the investigative sleuth. You ignore it and you move on to the next one. And spoiler alert, because I'm sitting on this Trey Reed video, and at current standing, it's about an hour long. And all I'm waiting for is the family to either say yay or nay on all these bullshit conspiracy theories that have been thrown out there. And if they say yay, we can have a conversation about a corrupt system that lied about a man's body and trying to cover it up. Or if they say nay, we're going to have to talk about how all these motherfuckers danced on a dead body because they wanted to jerk off to racism. And my issue stems from how much it seems like people will do anything under the sun to ignore the issue of somebody struggling because they want to believe this concept that, oh, if you smile in front of my face, clearly nothing's wrong with you. Everybody's going through something. Just because you potentially will look at that or hear that and you view that as minuscule, somebody else will view that as something major. This dude was calling his family members and telling them goodbye. This dude was going through something in his mind. And the sick part is none of us will be able to figure that out except for him. And he's no longer here. So for the love of fuck, can any moment in time happen where something like this occurs and they're telling you all, shut the fuck up and wait, and you actually do it? Because if we did that a little bit more often, maybe at some point everybody could have an honest conversation around mental health that isn't, oh fuck it, throw that to the side and let's dangle this fucking carrot in everybody's face.